Hi everyone, and welcome to another video of IGCSE Math preparation. My name is Irfan, and today we're gonna do some topicalized past year paper questions related to sets and Venn diagrams. So without any further ado, let's start with question number 1. Given a universal set, it is defined as all the x's such that x is greater or equal to 1 and it's less than or equal to 10. However, x is not a real number, so we can't have anything like 2.1. It has to be an integer. So there is another way of showing this. So if in the exam they give you the sets of all x's belong to z such that x is greater than or equal to 1 and less than or equal to 10, these two imply the same thing. Okay, they have the same meaning. It's just rather than say it in words, they're using notations to show that x is an integer number. Then we have set A, all the squares number. Well, of course, if A is a subset of universal set, which it is, then we're looking at the numbers 4 and 9 because these are the only square numbers less than 10. And B, it is clear all the members of this set is listed for us. All we have to do is just to show them on the Venn diagram and fill up the spots. So for B, we have 1 all the way to 6. However, 4 is common between A and B. So I'm going to write it in the region where A and B are overlapping, and the rest of the members, you can just scatter them all over in this region. Just make sure it's not in the middle region. And then A has one more member, so that is 9, which is left out. And do we have all the numbers here? If not, whatever's left, we have to write it in this region, anywhere outside A and B. And I believe number 7, 8, and 10 missing. So let's go ahead. This is 7, 8, and 10. So that's it. All the numbers are there. And let's move on to the second part. List the elements of A union B. So let me erase here. So A union B means everything in A and everything in B, basically this region, right? That's A union B. If you recall, I said you have to start with inside the bracket. And then if you want to find its complement, then that would be outside of that region, right? Meaning which here. And if you recall, the number 7, 8, and 10 was in that region. So the elements would be 7, 8, and 10. And they're asking for the number of, so you don't have to list the members, just give the numbers, that's sufficient. So A intersect B complement. So B complement, maybe I can shade the region. So this is B complement means anything outside B. So anything outside B in this region. And now what is the intersection of A with this region? So that would be only, this is the only common region, right? So the blue one. And then there was only one number in this region. Do you remember? That was number 9, right? And that's only one number, so the answer is 1. Don't write 9 because they're not asking for the element, right? They're just asking for the number of elements in this set. So we have only 1. So let's move on to the next question. So in this question, we've given a Venn diagram already. the spots are filled. However, there is an unknown needs to be found, and that is X. So do we have any extra information given to us? The Venn diagram shows the number of elements in sets A, B, and C. Yeah, the number is given. You see A union B union C is 74. Find X. So this is quite an easy question because all you have to do is just add everything inside A, B, and C and put it equal to 74, meaning which 13. So this is just a matter of solving a simple linear equation. So plus X plus 15 minus X plus 8 plus 14. Just you don't have to include Y because we're talking about A, B, and C, and this should be equal to 74. So let's do some cancellation. Negative X and X is gone. We have two negative X's. That would be negative 2X. So X is equal to 8 divided by 2, and X is 4. All right, so we found X, the middle one. This is equal to 4. So what's the second part is asking from us? In part B, we've been told the number of, so this notation, guys, this is the Z, or in some books, they use a capital U. That's the notation for universal set. So everything together adds up to 100. And they want us to find Y. That is, again, an easy question because in A, you know what is the sum of all the elements of A, B, and C together. That would be the number of elements, that would be 74, plus Y, which falls outside of all these regions. They should add up to 100. That's what the information is telling us. So 74 plus Y should be 100. Therefore, Y is 26. Right? As simple as that. Move on to the next question. Or there is a part C to this question, right? Find the value of N union. So we have to find inside the bracket first, and then complement of that, and then intersect with C. So let's get back to the Venn diagram. I'm going to shade the region. This is B, this is A. So that's their union together. But now, if you look for the complement of that, it means the red region. Okay. So the red region represents A union B complement. And then now you have to find its intersect with C. So intersect with C. This is the only region where they overlap, and that is 8, because they want the number of, right? So the number of elements, that would be 8, I believe. So that's the final answer. So moving on, we're given a Venn diagram. They ask us to, this is a very common question in the exam, in which they ask us to shade a specific region. So we have A intersect B complement. So B complement means anything outside A, right? And from that region, we're only interested with the region where it overlaps with A, right? So that would be here only, right? This part of A. So that's the answer. In B, they're asking a Venn diagram shows the number of elements in each region. Write down the value of N A union B complement. So you have to find the B complement first. Again, the B complement from the first, just like what we did, it's outside B, anything outside B. And now its union with A, that would be, okay. And then union with A, so this region is also included. All right, moving on to the next question. In a survey of 60 cars, 25 use diesel, 20 use liquid hydrogen, 22 use electricity. Okay, no cars use all three fuels. So this is a very important statement. And 14 cars use both diesel and electricity. Okay. There are 8 cars which use diesel only. This is also important. 15 use liquid hydrogen only. 16. Okay, let's go one by one. So no cars use all three fuels means the intersection of all of them, which is this region right here, it should be 0, right? It should be 0. And then 14 cars use both diesel and electric. So this is diesel, this is electricity. The region which they share together is here only. You might say, how about the bottom half? Well, this region is being shared with liquid hydrogen as well. So you can't really include that. So whenever they say both, they referring to this region. So 14 belongs to here. Okay, this is 0, this is 14. And then 8 cars which use diesel only, and that has been mentioned here, right? 15 cars which use liquid hydrogen only. So, and that has been also highlighted in the Venn diagram. This is 14, this is 0. And then what else? 6 cars which use electricity only. Okay, that's the number right there. Now, basically, they want us to complete the Venn diagram, right? So now I have to go back to this information, the number of cars. We have, if you read the question, we have 25 diesel, 20 liquids, hydrogen, and 22 electricity. So with those information, hopefully we can go back here and complete the diagram. Diesel is 25. So these two numbers add up to basically everything inside this circle should add up to 25. So that means this should be 3, right? And then if you look at the similarly, same concept, the liquid hydrogen would be 20. This is 15, 3, we need 2 more just to reach to 20. And I believe the last one should give us 22 automatically. That means 14 and 16. Yeah, 20, 22, and that's it. Now, how many cars we had in total? 60 cars. So if you add everything and we get less than 60, it means there's some cars exist that they don't use any of these fuels. Let's add them up. 25 with 8, 33. Okay, 38, 48. So 48. Now, but we have 60 cars in our survey. So if you subtract that, you get 12. So this question mark, that should be 12, and I think we're done. So that was a nice question. So let's move on to use the information. We fill the gap and then find the number of cars which use diesel but no electricity. So diesel but no electricity. That would be anything inside D which doesn't overlap with E. So this is diesel but no electricity. So there is no constraint on whether those that use diesel they shouldn't be using liquid. They didn't mention that. So the only constraint or the limitation we have here is they shouldn't be using electricity, right? So that would be 8 and 5, 8 and 3, sorry, 8 and 3. So that is 11. That's the answer for B is 11. Find, okay, the complement. Let me write it down somewhere here. The complement, intersect E union L. Okay, we're looking for the numbers. All right, so let's get back to our Venn diagram. D complement means anything outside D, and that would be this region. Now, where these two colored region they overlap, that is this region, which I'm gonna color it in green, meaning which number 6, 15, and 2. Can you see those numbers? 6, 15, and 2, which add up to 23, right? So the answer to this is 23. They're looking for the numbers. I think that's the last part of this question. Yes. So in the next question, they're given a bunch of information, and then we have to figure out what's the number of students who have visited Australia, but not Botswana. Okay, we have 30, 18, and 15. So definitely some of those students who visited Australia, they also visited Botswana, because when you add 15 and 18, you get 33, which is 3 units more than 30. Plus, on top of that, 5 students have not visited either. So we're looking at 25 students who visited, who traveled to Australia or Botswana. So it means 8 students here, they must have visited both. So you don't need to do it this way. I just wanted to show you that don't go ahead and subtract, because that doesn't get you anywhere. The best approach is using Venn diagram. So I'm going to use 2 circles, each one of them presenting the students who visited Botswana and Australia, right? And we know that this number out, it should be 5, because there are 5 students who have not visited either of these countries. And then we have the universal set here. So that's the Z, the universal set. Don't forget to label that as well. Now, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna call this region X, because we don't know how many people visited both countries, but we do know 15 have visited Botswana, meaning which if this circle is 15, then the remaining region should be 15 minus X, right? This part, this should be 15 minus X. And then same thing we do for Australia, this should be 18 minus X. And now what's left for us to do is just to add all these numbers and put it equal to 30. 18 minus X plus 15 minus X plus 5 must add up to 30. And we have negative X equals to plus 38 equals to 30, and X is found to be 8, right? Actually, at the beginning of the question, I figured that out as well, right? 33 and 25, their difference is 8. But now they want the students who have visited Australia, but not Botswana. So meaning which only this region. So we know the value for X. If you subtract that by 18, you get 10. So the final answer in this region is 5. And this region is 10. And X is also 8. And if you add all these numbers, you should get, wait a minute, 15 minus 8 is, sorry, 7. Yeah, if you add all these numbers, you should get 30, the total number of students in the group. So the answer to this question is 10. All right, let's move on to the next question. Almost a similar scenario. We have a group of students, 21 of them, they're interested in football, 15 interested in swimming. All right, one student does not like football and does not like swimming. All right, that I think that's clear. It should fall outside of football and swimming. This is football, this is swimming, and we have one student only outside. So let me draw the universal set. We don't know how many students take both. That should be X. So this region should be, this is for swimming, should be 15 minus X, right? That is 15 minus X. And then this region should be 21 minus X. And when you add all these numbers, you should get 24, the total number of students. That gives us 36, 37 minus X equals to 24. Therefore, X should be 13, right? So X is 13, which is the answer to this question, the overlap region, right? Okay, moving on to the next question. Shade the region required in each Venn diagram. I think it's very straightforward. The only region that all these three are overlapping is this region. The next one, A union B complement. So B complement is anything outside B, right? And if you want to find its union with A, so it means this part also should be included. So the final answer should be the whole A, everything inside A, plus everything outside B as well. So this is quite a tricky question, but that's the answer. And next question. A and B are sets. Write the following sets in their simplest form. A intersect A complement. Actually, there is nothing common between a set and its complement. It doesn't matter if it's A, B, or C, right? There is no such, they're sharing no region together. So the answer is empty set, right? And if I draw this, the corresponding set, if this is A, anything outside A, it doesn't share anything with inside A, right? So it's clear it's empty. And A union A complement. So if you add everything inside A with everything outside A, which is A complement, that gives you the universal set. The universal set and or the set Z. And last one, we have A and B. It always helps you guys if you can imagine it. If you cannot imagine it, I suggest you to draw it. That helps you a lot. So the first one says A intersect B. So it's this region, that's clear. Let me label that A and B. The second one is A intersect B complement. So if you imagine everything outside B and then its intersection with A, we have only this region. And now if we add these two regions together, that should gives us A, the whole circle, right? That should gives us A. So the answer is A. And let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. The number of elements in set A is 18, for B is 11, and the number of union of A and B, their complement, is 0. So label the Venn diagrams to show the sets A, B, where the A union B is 18. Okay, write down the number of elements in each region. Now, the union of A and B is 18, okay? And B is the smaller set, right? So it means that according to our Venn diagram, either this should be A or B, right? So if this is A, this should be B, and if this is B, this should be A. And since A has the bigger number of elements, so I'm gonna choose the bigger circle to be A and this one to be B, right? And this should be 11. And the union of A and B together should be 18. Everything inside A should be 18 as well. So I need only 7 more. So now if you look at the circle A, these two add up to 18, right? And if you look at circle B, it is 11. So it's a match with these two information and this one. And lastly, if you look at the A union B means everything inside A, because B is already trapped inside A. And its complement, which falls outside, is 0. That's according to the information the question gave us. So this is the green part. And they say it should be 0. Therefore, this number should be 0. So that was a nice question. If you didn't get it, I suggest you to pause the video and try to digest what really happened. It's not tricky because the Venn diagram is given to us. Draw another Venn diagram to show the sets of A and B where A union B is 29. Since this is the second part of this question, so we have to use the information we have here. So their union should be 29 because B already has 11 members, A has 18 members, and 18 and 11 is 29. So if it was less than 29, then yeah, they were overlapping, right? They were sharing something in between. But now it's very clear that they're not sharing anything. And if I add these two numbers, meaning which their union, this is B, this is A, and that's it. The answer is 20. So you just have to draw two circles which are separate from each other. The next question. Okay, this is interesting. They combine it with earlier chapters, the rational numbers, right? Irrational numbers, integers. So what we have, this is a decimal. This is a fraction which can be rewritten as a decimal. This gives us a decimal as well if you key in your calculator, and this one, same thing. Now we have to look which one is rational and which one is irrational. So if it's rational, we put them inside the circle which belongs to rational, right? We put it here, and the irrational ones we put outside. 2.6, it's clear it's a terminating decimal. So terminating decimal is rational, right? If you remember, so 2.6. Now the recurring one can also be rewritten as a fraction. So be careful. If you divide 4 by 17, that is actually irrational number. There is no pattern. So I'm gonna write it here. And square root of 12, same thing. Okay. Now 112 divided by 7, that is 16. Oh, that's an integer. I miscalculated. The square root of 16 is 4. So we have an integer inside. Yeah, we have 4, 2.6, and these two fall outside. So I shouldn't write 4 here. I should write square root of 112. Make sure the square root covered the whole fraction. And that's it. That's the answer to this. Is a very nice question, actually, and it carries 4 marks. So let's do one more and then we can stop. 3 sets A, B, and K are such that A is a subset of K, B is a subset of K, and there is nothing common between A and B. So I think it's very clear that K should be the larger set. Maybe I draw a rectangle. In this case, K is it's kind of my universal set. So this is K, or if you want to draw a circle, it's also fine. And A and B fall inside and they don't share anything. That's it. This is the answer. Just label them A and B, right? So having said that, I think we can stop here. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you have enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the future videos. Stay safe.